Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the next session on setting up of delivery trolley. Now, setting up of delivery trolley, at the outset, after hearing the title, you may think of that it is setting up of the trolley which is needed for the delivery, but it is more than that. So, when I say setting up of delivery trolley, basically it should start with setting up of the delivery room, then preparation of the delivery trolley, preparation of other equipment, articles and aids, and preparation of the resuscitation trolley. Now let us see one by one. Setting up of delivery trolley. Why we need to set up the delivery room? Why we need to set up the delivery area or delivery room? As in my previous session also, I said UNICEF declares that every delivery should be considered as obstetrical emergency. So we do not know that which situation, which delivery there can be need for resuscitation. The mother may had PPH, the baby may have birth asphyxia, the mother may collapse on the delivery table. So for this reason, we need to keep our delivery room ready. Now when I say this, I mean that at every shift, the changing over of shift, the nurses when they take over, handing over is done, they should see that the delivery room is ready in terms of cleanliness, in terms of equipment, in terms of machines, in terms of all other facilities, other aids, other articles required during a delivery. And this practice should be followed after every single delivery. That means when there has been a delivery, after that the cleaning of the labor room, delivery table, everything should be done. And we also check that the delivery set, the drugs, the resuscitation articles on the newborn trolley, if they are used, they are replaced, and we have all the time our delivery room ready to face any emergency. Now talking about preparation of the delivery trolley. Now this is a picture of the set which is used for normal vaginal delivery. This set for normal vaginal delivery may vary from institution to institution, but most of the places will have the following instruments, like we need artery clamp to clamp the umbilical cord. We need the scissors to cut the umbilical cord. We need another scissors to give episiotomy, that is called as episiotomy scissors. We also need needle holder. When the episiotomy is given, we need to suture. Then we need suturing material, catgut or vicryl, whatever the practice followed in that center has to be available. Then we need the cord clamp. Now in the picture you can see there is a disposable cord clamp, but there are hospitals where this may not be available. So we can have clean cord tie, it can be thread, it can be rubber band, but as far as possible we should have these disposable cord clamps. Then we also need few gauze pieces, cotton swabs, sanitary pads and steel bowls, kidney tray to receive the placenta, and steel bowls to put the disinfectant solution like betadine, normal saline, syringe, needle, xylocaine to give the local anesthesia for episiotomy. Now these are also linen which are required for normal vaginal delivery. These are the minimum. What all I am referring or talking is the minimum equipment or minimum instruments required. We may have more than this, So in the Lilon we need 2 sterile sheets for the baby, which are preheated, which is kept in the infant warmer, and one which is after being preheated, it is spread on the resuscitation trolley on which the baby is going to be received, and the other one, the pediatrician carries that sterile preheated sheet to receive the baby. The nurse or pediatrician, whoever is receiving the baby, will carry that. Receiving the baby on metallic tray is an outdated practice that should not be followed, because the babies may lose temperature by conduction by coming in contact with the metallic tray. Then we also need Lilon draping material for the mother, the sheet, the leggings. Now again see another delivery tray in which you can see that in addition to whatever I said, we need sponge holder for cleaning, we need thumb forceps, gloves of 6.5 size generally can serve the purpose, because most of the people will require these sizes, but we may keep even 7 number. Sometimes this also can be required. Then we also need plain urinary catheter. Now during labor, the mother will have difficulty to pass urine, are required by most of the people. We may keep 7 number, it may be required for some. Now urinary catheter, plain urinary catheter may be required during labor, because it is difficult for the woman during labor to empty the bladder. So instant emptying of the bladder can be done with the urinary catheter, because full bladder will not allow the descent of the fetal head. Now in addition to the preparation of the delivery trolley, we also need to keep the equipment and articles ready. And these pictures, we can see the first picture where the woman is lying is the CTG machine, that is cardiotocography machine. This cardiotocography machine monitors the fetal heart rate during the uterine contraction. Now the interpretation or the status of contraction can be seen with the graphical presentation on the graph paper. And in centers like referral hospitals where the high-risk women are admitted, these CTG machines are very important. Now these machines can be transported from the room where the mother is monitored to the delivery room. The other machine is NST machine, non-stress testing, that is not used during labor, but it can be used during the pregnancy to assess the fetal well-being. Now this wheelchair and stretcher or the trolley, they are very important part of the equipment and accessories or the aids in the process of delivery. Wheelchair is required to transport the mother from one place to another after delivery, to the postnatal room, from the labor ward to the OT. And the stretcher is another very important, or the trolley, because though the guidelines recommendation says that the delivery should be on the delivery beds, but there are so many hospitals still the practice continues to deliver the woman on the delivery tables. So these stretchers help us in shifting the mother from the bed to the delivery trolley, and then from delivery trolley back to the postnatal ward. So having these trolleys and wheelchair does not serve the purpose. It is the duty of the nurse to see that they are in working order. Their wheels are lubricated from time to time. They are sent to the workshop if any damage takes place, and they have a specified place to be kept. That means after use, every worker should replace it on the designated place. In some hospitals, even the wheelchair is put with a chain and a lock So whenever we need it, we get the keys, open it, and then again replace it back. And the stretcher, and most of the hospitals, the OT is very adjacent to labor room. So the trolleys which are used for, or the stretcher which is used for OT, should not be brought out to the labor room. It should be very clearly painted that this is for OT and this is for labor room. So now Cheetle forceps. Cheetle forceps is again, though it seems very simple, a very important instrument in the labor room to take out the sterile pads, sterile gauze pieces from the drum, from the sterile set. Like during the delivery, suddenly the need arises for the forceps delivery. So the other nurse, who is a circulatory nurse, brings the forceps with the Cheetle forceps from the set in which the forceps is kept. So Cheetle forceps we should have in ample number and always ready to use, and it should be also seen for its efficiency, that it is not, the tips are not spoiled, it is in working order. Then the heuristic, the protein heuristic. Now this helps to detect the presence of presence of protein in the urine during labor, because acidosis in labor is very common. So this is a very quick and easy way of assessing proteinuria during labor. Now utility gloves or heavy duty gloves. Now these gloves are do protection of the health workers under the biomedical waste management. So the cleaning staff is given these utility gloves so that they are protected from different infections. Now there are strip thermometers to check the temperature of the newborn and to see that the baby does not have hypothermia. Then these are headlights. Headlights are very useful item where there are very often the power cut and electricity goes away. These headlights are very useful item to be used during labor. Now this is liquid soap dispenser. Now all of you must have seen, some of you may be having in your hospital. This liquid soap dispenser is a cost-effective way of hand washing. So this should be deployed at the hand washing area and also in the operation theatre. This is a very cost-effective method of cleaning of hands. Now this is puncture-proof container. Now this container, all the sharp instruments are put in this so that people do not have injuries, stick injuries or injuries with a sharp instrument. So it helps again under the biomedical waste management and universal precaution. Then this is the hub cutter with needle destroyed. Now this hub cutter helps to destroy the tip of the needle, and this works even when there is no power supply. That means it can work on battery, so it is also a very useful device. Then gown for the mother, for the health worker, clean gowns or sterile gowns. Then we have the foot operated suction device. Now this foot operated suction device can be used without electricity. So it is a manual apparatus to use for the suction, and this is very useful at birth when the newborn needs suctioning. This creates a very low pressure, and also in mothers with eclampsia. Now this crash cart is a trolley which is used for transporting drugs, equipment, various machines from one room to another room in the labor room. So it saves a lot of time and energy. Now in the end, there is another trolley which we need to keep ready, though this is very important: preparation for resuscitation trolley. Now as I said in the beginning of my session also, that this is always ready in the labor room, but after every delivery, in each shift we must review that anything is being used from the resuscitation trolley, we replace it. If anything is not in working order, we replace it, we put the new ones. So we should have a newborn corner, and which should constitute the radiant warmer, the ambu bag, face mask, neonatal, because the size of neonatal ambu bag is different from adults. Then mucus extractor, infant tray with clean cloth, for draping the baby, oxygen cylinder, or it can be wall oxygen or oxygen concentration. Then laryngoscope and endotracheal tube, and also stethoscope, which is different size for the newborn. And baby's weighing scale. Now weighing scale at the newborn corner is very important because assessment of the weight at birth of the newborn gives a baseline data for the administration of drugs and also to keep a check on the growth of the newborn. Now, in addition to the trays, what I said, there are various other trays which should be always available in the delivery room, and for every delivery we must make sure that they are available. And it is emergency tray. Emergency tray should have the drugs like oxytocin, diazepam, carboprost, then adrenaline, soda bicarb, all emergency drugs which can be required in any other clinical setup. Then medicine tray. On the medicine tray, again oxytocin, because oxytocin is the most important and common drug used in the labor room. And in the medicine tray, we should also have the IV set, the cannulas, the leucoplast, all what is required for giving IV infusion or any drug administration. Then baby tray should have all the drugs which are required for resuscitation. And the delivery tray, that I have already said, that delivery tray should have all the instruments used for delivery. In addition to that, xylocaine and episiotomy tray. Now episiotomy tray, in addition to the delivery tray, we can have the episiotomy tray in which local xylocaine used as local anesthesia, syringe, needle. Then episiotomy scissor. Episiotomy scissor is something different from the plain scissor. It is shaped in correspondence with the episiotomy, that is mediolateral, how we give the episiotomy. The scissor is exactly in that shape, so that should be there. So these all trays also should be always available when we talk about delivery, setting up of delivery trolley. So to conclude, we can say that preparation of delivery trolley does not mean that only we are looking at the delivery trolley. We look at the delivery room, we look at the equipments, we look at the accessories, aids which will be required, we look at the resuscitation trolley, and we follow the protocols and the practices which has been formulated, which are displayed, and this will take us forward in the quality improvement in the care of the mother and the newborn. Thank you.